threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Hey,
We're here.
we are here.
Rock you.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna rock you.
We are.
Rock your socks
Talking about
off.
rock and roll in the apocalypse.
Yeah, that would be a great episode.
That would be.
Just talking about making music in the apocalypse.
Improvised instruments.
Yeah,
This is a good one.
that would be a good one. Cameron, welcome to the studio.
Thank
you. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're healthy.
Pleasure to be here.
Omicron hasn't taken you down.
I don't know how.
Still rolling.
It is destroying our town right now.
It is, man. Dropping like flies out there.
They are. Everybody, I think, has been in the clinic at least once this week.
Yeah, it's great. Great
Yeah.
times. Great times. But today, we're not talking about no Omicrons.
No, let's not.
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about surviving in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Whether that be stranded or by choice,
Yeah.
or maybe it's your bug out plan.
Yeah.
You're just going to go up and live out of your vehicle.
Yes.
So
All
we're gonna
things just
talk
like
about some of those
Yeah.
details.
chilling in your vehicle.
Yeah.
When
So-
you want to or not.
Bug out vehicles gets wrapped in here a little
Yeah.
bit. But so anyways, yeah.
We're excited.
That's what we're going to talk about.
But before we get to that, I got to tell you about BattleBox, Cameron.
I've heard of them.
And they've got some really cool stuff for your vehicle, especially if you want to survive in your vehicle. This month especially.
month is great
They've got
for
some
it.
great stuff for that. But this is a monthly subscription box, and they have stuff for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and our favorites, the casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you normally pay. That's the cool thing, is you get gear, but you get it for cheaper.
It's a great idea.
It's awesome. You never know what's in the next box, but here is a sampling of what users received this month. The Gray Man Tactical Molly system for your vehicle.
No, I love it.
That came in
I
there.
already used it. I'm going to put more in there.
Yep, and then there's also a pretty cool little EDC knife Cam already cut himself
I
on.
did. Super pokey.
So that's cool. All this badassness starts at just $30 a month. How many hair serums can you get for $30? Probably none.
No.
They've shipped almost 14 trillion boxes in one Best Men's subscription box of 2017. Our listeners get a free knife. And if you like knives, they're even better when they're free. When you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casual preppers, that is trybattlebox.com/casual preppers, get your first battle box plus a free knife at trybattlebox.com/casual preppers.
Listener reviews starts now.
Yep.
It does. It starts right now.
Now it's time.
Great information plus fun drinking game.
Yeah.
Cam and Kobe are able to discuss serious subject matters
That's us.
and provide valuable information while keeping it lighthearted and entertaining. I'm glad you interpreted it that way.
Yeah,
bud.
that's exactly what we're doing.
As a bonus, each episode doubles as a fun drinking game. Take a drink every time Kobe mentions jujitsu, and a shot every time the guys say the word skeletal.
Yeah.
Just kidding, don't. You'll die of alcohol poisoning.
I'll try not to mention the J word the whole
Tony,
episode.
1992567.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, go to the Kindle book on Amazon. Leave us a 5-star review and make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
That's the second time somebody has suggested a drinking game.
Yeah, I know.
Every time they say like or
Yeah, I know.
that guy's dead now.
I think he's got a bunch of friggin' drunks listening. That's all that's going on. You know what I mean?
That's why they have stayed listening.
Yes. It's our core audience.
Yeah, it is.
Idiot drunk rednecks. Now, what we say? Dumb shits and rednecks or something was our audience?
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think
remember.
so.
Which one are you?
Who cares?
So, Cam, I don't know if you've been looking at the news, but it usually isn't good when you look at it. We've had all these supply chain issues, right? They've been plaguing us. You can't get your chips, and I'm not talking about Lay's. I'm talking about the microchips
chips?
or the poker chips. Yeah. But there's all these things that we're having issues getting because of apparently COVID. I don't
Yeah.
know. The whole world's got
Not
COVID.
to mention all the train looters and the...
That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking
is it
about today.
really?
Yes, the LA freight train looting out of control as thieves worsen supply chain
I didn't
bottlenecks.
realize that was your thing.
Well, it is. So I don't know if you've seen these photos, but holy
Oh,
fudge,
yeah.
it is nuts.
It looks like they exploded a bunch of
Yeah.
train cars.
The scene in Southern California resembles a disaster movie, only it's not. Thousands of boxes littering Union Pacific train tracks in downtown Los Angeles attest to a wave of rail thefts that have taken place in recent months, worsening supply chain bottlenecks and creating endless delays for consumers and merchants that likely cost millions, if not more. So just saying that things aren't getting better, they're getting worse, and California is just like a lawless. I don't know what's going on over there.
I don't either.
Like,
I can guarantee you, like, pictures and video of what's happening is going to
Oh.
serve for all the Hollywood movies for
B-roll,
the next, like...
B-roll for disaster movies for the next 15 years. Anything that's going on in LA in the last 3
we
years.
saved a lot of money. It's already been done.
This is great.
Yeah.
This just makes it easy. So anyways, that's happening. And so, again, we need to be
How smash and
diligent,
grab,
yeah.
looting, that freaking state
who
is
would
in
think
chaos.
about we're looting the trains?
I know.
Train
I would-
robbers. We've gone back in time.
This one's full of oil. We don't want this one.
Just open the cap and let it run out. We're going to grab these Sony TVs.
Seriously.
You know?
That's what they do, too.
Yeah.
Just let it pour on the ground.
But anyway, so we need to be more we need to be ready for more supply chain issues, which means you just have to be thinking about your preps, the things that you need all the time. You just got to
If
keep
you
up
own
on
a
it.
train,
If you own a train, be
secure
careful.
it.
Yeah, you got to learn jujitsu. I mean, dang it.
Dang it, I'm already drunk.
I'm already drunk. Anyways, get your Skeletor because that's going to work to help these looters.
Just freaking put this guy in the hospital.
Yeah. Screw you, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, crazy stuff.
That is crazy. Another crazy thing
Hmm.
is you probably all heard about that big old volcano that went off.
Yeah, might have felt it.
Super weird. Yeah. A little puff in the back of your hair.
Ooh, what was that? Someone open a window?
Was there wind today? I felt a little puff.
No, that was a volcano under the water.
Guarantee you that volcano probably a couple thousand miles away, honey.
I could feel
You
it.
just feel your hair to poof.
Yeah, I could feel that old bum knees hurting at the volcano.
That tooth's acting up. Should a volcano over in Japan must have went off.
My ears are ringing. That's it.
But yeah, so the Tonga volcanic eruption was the most powerful our planet has experienced in 30 years.
Really?
It's crazy.
Wow. What was
Man.
the one 30 years ago?
I think it was the one in, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Volcano episode way
Oh,
back.
yeah, we
way
talked
back.
about that probably.
But yeah, the power of that sucker was nearly as strong as like the Krakatoa.
Oh, for really?
Coca-Cola.
Krakatoa.
Krakatoa. I just made a new one.
Coca-Cola
You guys
volcano.
didn't hear about that one, did you?
Coca-Cola volcano.
Twice as powerful as anything. But yeah, if you've seen the satellite footage, it's pretty cool. You should check
It is
out.
cool. It's
Like,
way cool.
It's like Mother Earth farted in the bathtub.
Again, it's B-roll for disaster movies moving forward because it really looks like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. But
Hollywood's like, let's get
I know.
Let's get going.
Capture that. Keep looking at
Armageddon
the news.
2.
More stuff's popping up. Remnants of the Hunga Tunga Hey Pie Island.
Is that really what it is?
It is the Hunga Tonga Hunga Hai Pai Island.
That sounds racist or
I know.
something. I don't know what it is, but it's not.
Anyways, if you ever wanted to visit it, it's gone. It was destroyed.
It's now gone.
Crazy. And yeah, some of the footage from Tonga has been insane. Like they got the worst of the tsunamis, like 4 foot high or something.
Yeah. The tsunami warnings everywhere.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and people in California,
Yeah.
got their waders a little more.
Yeah.
They had their floods, but they got
did,
a little
yep,
wet.
for sure.
Anyways,
Wearing their Crocs. Mhm.
the crazy thing about volcanoes is like it can lower the atmospheric pressure or the temperature. But for all of you that were worried about global warming, you're like, it's about time volcano bring temperature down.
Yeah.
There was not enough sulfur dioxide released,
Oh.
probably because it's underwater.
Yeah.
But so it's not going to affect the temperatures. Probably made them go up because that's all that.
You know, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is like an accidental crap. We dropped the nuke out of
I
the plane.
swear, man,
and it dropped
just
into the ocean.
Location of it, I'm
Yeah.
like, I guarantee it was a failed experiment,
Yeah.
and some freaking diver or shark bumped into it and it blew up. That was a volcano, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
Biden,
had
yeah.
to report on it.
They brought him an extra thing of tapioca just to soften the blow to him. Like, here's your extra. Hey, Mr. President, here's an extra tapioca today. Oh, I've been a good boy.
Speaking of volcanoes, when I was a young lad, we used to walk into volcanoes, and today we're powered by energy from the stars.
We used to roast the weenies on the volcano when we were young boys. Yeah. Yeah, anyways.
Oh, Tonga, I love that place. Fun over there at the Chinese. No, sir.
I love Szechuan chicken. This is my favorite.
When's the election?
Oh, where's that Kamala lady? I like her.
I hate Trump.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
We love old Joe. He's
But
a good
old
boy.
Earth is still active out there,
Yeah,
so watch out. Blowing bubbles
She's
under the
ready
water.
to get you.
She
I
is.
mean, that's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Mother Nature, whew,
She's out to get
she's
you.
out
They
to
are out
get
to
you.
Anyways, that was kind of
Yeah.
exciting but crappy news, but crazy.
So, Cameron, I would like to talk about surviving in your vehicle. And there's many, many different ways that you can survive in your vehicle. And so we decided, hey, let's talk about it in an episode today, right?
Yeah. All of us have heard those stories of, somebody rolled off the road and
Yeah.
ate the back seat of their car
Yeah.
to stay alive.
Yeah.
So, let's start off with some stories.
Okay,
There's
let's
some
do that.
crazy stories out there. Lauren Weinberg, an Arizona State University student, survived on 2 candy bars and melted snow
Whoa.
for water after her car became stuck in the snow outside of a forest gate near the line of cliffs with no one around for miles.
Uh-oh.
So she drove up,
Yeah.
tried to get to something for her family, tried to turn around and got stuck in the snow, and she was there for 10 days.
Wow, 10 days?
Yeah. And smart.
Yeah.
She stayed in her car.
Good job.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And by way of provisions, I don't know what I hope those candy bars were good.
Man,
But
you
you
would
kinda
think they were.
Rationed them a little, and then she would just stuff her mug. I'm sure she had, everybody's carrying some kind
A
of type
hydro
of
flask or
Yes.
something.
She just pack full of snow, put it on top of the car so that it would melt, and
Yeah.
that's what she drank. So
Yeah.
didn't have a lot in way of clothing either. She just somehow
Jeez.
stayed alive back there.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Risque.
She drove up naked. Weird.
Yeah, she was just out for a naked
She lucked
stroll.
out. A 56-year-old Canadian woman was rescued after being stranded for almost 2 months on a desolate
2 months?
logging road in Nevada.
Oh my gosh.
Her husband, who left to go search for help, is still missing.
Oh gosh. That sucks.
So yeah, you're supposed to stay in your car. In 2006, Katie Kim and her 2 young daughters were miraculously rescued after being stranded for 9 days in a remote Oregon wilderness. Her husband James, who walked for 16 miles in treacherous conditions, was found dead a week later from hypothermia.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, you've got to really have a great plan if you're going to leave your car.
You do.
You got
have
to know what's going on.
Basically, plan to live in it. That's your best chance.
Yeah, it really is.
Earlier this month, we've all heard the news on
Mm-hmm.
I-95 in Virginia. Craziest thing, just like nowadays, to be trapped like 40 miles of highway
Yeah.
was like shut down, and people were stuck in their vehicles for 24 plus hours.
I don't know. That's insane,
It
dude.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the nice thing is like people kind of work together. Luckily, somebody was behind a semi full of bread,
Oh, really?
which was the Schmidt Baking Company.
Oh, too bad it
And-
wasn't the Schwann's, man.
No. It's all cold. I don't want that.
I don't want that stuff.
Can't thaw it out.
You got a fire starting stuff in your car. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying,
do.
man.
But yeah, they called the Schmidt Baking Company. Somebody's like, hey, there's a truck up there. Called them, and they're like, hey, we're stranded. Luckily, their phones all still worked.
Yeah.
And they're like, is there a chance that we can eat that food? And the Schmidt Baking Company contacted the driver, and he popped the back open, started distributing bread to
Dang,
everybody.
that's cool.
Which is way cool. But yeah, people were stuck in there,
Mm-hmm.
and some were like freezing. They ran out of gas, and firemen had like taken some of the family's kids to safety. I'm like, I don't know why they didn't take them all.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
Give us the little kids. We'll take
It's just
them.
weird how simple something like that, a really bad storm,
Yeah.
stranded people in their cars for 24 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah, and again, if you're not ready for that, and if you're
If you're running on low already,
if you're running on
I'm
low,
waiting to get to the gas station.
or if you're again, if you have some sort of a medical condition that needs,
oh, yeah.
can you imagine? You know what I mean? Boy, it's a bad.
I got a
deal.
medical condition. I need to stay warm.
Yeah,
But
colditis. My wife is.
It hurts my fingers.
My wife is like,
Your wife
It
has
dips below 70 degrees. It's like, let's turn the heat on.
Oh. Has your wife checked her thyroid
I
in a
don't
while?
know. I don't
It's
know.
probably her thermostat's
My
like,
sister's the same way, but she doesn't have a thyroid anymore.
Yeah, she has excuses.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And then the last one, this guy's a bad A.
Oh.
A Swedish man.
Oh, he's Swedish. That's why.
Yeah, he survived being trapped in a snow-covered car for 2 months without food.
Without food,
I don't know.
was he fat? Just living off his fat stores.
He must have. The car was found on a Friday at the end of a forest track more than zero point 0.6 miles from a main road.
0.6 miles?
But stay in your car.
Dude, that guy was on vacation.
Yeah, I think so too. Police say the temperature in the area had recently dropped to negative 30,
Ooh.
negative 22 Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
The man, who was too weak to utter more than a few words after he was found by snowmobilers, they just
Wow.
happened upon the car and they're like, oh, it's covered in snow. Maybe I don't know what they were doing. They're like, let's look in there, see if there's
Yeah.
candy bar or something. And they like cleared the snow off and they could see something moving around in the back. Anyways, the guy was super weak, couldn't really talk. They took him to a hospital and the doctors said, I don't have any reason not to believe this story.
Dude, that sounds
2
a little
weeks.
weird. A
Yeah.
half mile from the road.
They had figured like maybe with the cold temperatures and him just like sipping on water, he almost went into like a hibernation state.
Wow.
I don't know. But
That's
that's crazy stuff.
That is super crazy, but it just goes to show that it happens, and why not be ready for it?
Yeah.
Right?
You
And
have
so
to.
we're going to be talking about that situation a little bit today, but a whole bunch of other ones that kind of involve
Right.
being in your car, whatever vehicle you have, right? So let's start looking at some of the things to think about, some tips and some, before you get out there and get stuck in a car that you want to
If you're
do.
listening in your car, like, oh,
Yeah, oh yeah. It's too late now. But maybe we'll give you some ideas. First thing is your basic car maintenance. Because one reason you could get stuck is it just breaks down in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a snowstorm or whatever it might be, and you're stuck, right? So you need to be keeping up on that basic care of your vehicle. Keep your car in good shape. Make sure that you have a good battery. That is one of the things that most cars that won't start, they say it's like 60% of the time or something. I don't know, some mechanic's going to get pissed off, but I read this on the internet.
What the hell did you just say?
What he said 60, it's only 54.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but a good battery is something you have to have, especially when it comes to the colder weather, because it becomes more important, right? Tires. Make sure your tires are not, you don't got 9 million miles on your freaking tires and they're just like racing slicks at this point. And so
And I've done that.
oh, for sure. We've all done it before, but
Or you go and get new tires. You're like, you got any used ones I could put on?
give me those used
Give me a
ones.
little more time.
We were just going to burn those for no, I want those on my car now. So, tires you don't want to get a flat. Bald tires suck in the snow. There's just, keep up that basic car maintenance and that becomes a huge plus for you. It's less likely for you to get into one of these situations. And then driving smart, right? Don't drive it like you stole it all the time.
Yeah.
Because those, keep within speed limits. If you're in any sort of emergency situation, a lot of times you feel like you have to go faster and you have to gun it and you have to do these things, but it becomes more and more
I'm
dangerous.
going to beat this storm.
Yeah, I want to beat the storm. You're like a storm chaser, but you need to be cautious. Your vehicle might be your last lifeline in whatever emergency or SHTF situation you're in. So don't be dumb and don't show off. Don't be an idiot. Don't do those types of things like, hey, look, I can get through this big old snowbank, babe. Watch this, and then you guys are surviving for 2 months, in your car.
Yeah.
So just be smart. Something that we've already touched on that Cam said, you stay in your vehicle, especially when it's cold outside. If you are a little unsure if you can make it back to where you need to be, if you're even a little bit unsure, just stay in your vehicle.
Yep.
You might get lost. Your vehicle has heat or it has AC, whatever, situation you're in, and it's a shelter. It provides protection for people, animals, and gross bugs and weather and all those things.
Gross bugs.
It really does, though.
Ew.
Ew, that's gross. And it's easier to spot for search crews. If you're out, in the middle of the wilderness, you're pretty tough to see.
Yeah.
But Ford F-150 in the wilderness is not that hard to see.
Yeah. Fire engine red.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Mine's bright as get out. My
yeah.
yellow.
Yeah, it really sticks out. So sticking with your vehicle is usually the best choice to make. And you can see by some of those stories that we told, the ones that didn't make it are the ones that started to hoof it.
Yeah.
So
0.6 miles. That guy probably could have made it.
yeah, that guy just didn't want to go home.
I don't think
That
so.
guy's been having a rough marriage for a
But
while.
he may have died.
Yeah.
Negative 30.
That's true. It's
pretty
cold. It's cold out there. So Let's talk about if it is cold, because anytime I think about, surviving in your vehicle, that's what I think about. It's freezing. It's a blizzard. It's really cold. So what do you need to do? The first thing is utilize any extra warm clothing that you might have right away. Just get it on. You don't want it. You know how it is where you get cold and it's really hard to warm back up.
Yeah.
Just stay as warm as you can right from the beginning. If you have blankets or sleeping bags, use those. I don't know if you've noticed when you're in a cold car, but your feet get cold really quick, right? So if you can get
Cut your feet off.
Yeah, cut your feet off. Just get it done. You won't even think about your feet anymore. No, but get your feet up on the seat if you can, because it's going to be much warmer up there. You have that insulation. The floor is the coldest part, so you got to be careful there. If you have a space blanket or maybe a tarp or something like that, you can actually, and some duct tape.
There's always some article of clothing kicking around in your car.
There usually is,
kids
yeah.
leave jackets or
bra or panties or something.
I hope so.
That's hanging around in there. Yeah, would you put it
At least
on?
you got a mask.
If you were cold, would you put the bra on? I mean, what would you do? Put it around
I'd
your
wrap
toes?
my hands in it.
Make some makeshift mittens.
Yeah,
out of your
earmuffs.
Bra. Earmuffs. Yeah, there you go.
See?
Yeah,
Found him wearing a bra on his head.
that's right. But you're warm, right? But if you have a space
You need help in
blanket,
there? Huh? No, I'm good. Got a bra on my head.
just hanging out, buddy. These B cups doing it for me. Open the window. Yeah, but if you have a space blanket or a tarp and some tape, you can actually partition off part of your vehicle. I mean, you'd look stupid as all hell, but you could do that and actually keep that space much warmer. And
I want to do that before I even go on a trip with the kids. Kids, we're keeping you warm back there. Partition the front and the back.
The front and the back. That would be great. It really would. But you
This
could
is for
do that.
your own safety.
But I mean, think about if you're
It's true, though,
if
yeah.
you're in a huge van or like a Suburban Expedition, something like
Yeah.
that. These things are
It's so
huge.
hard to,
They're like a small apartment, so you
Yeah.
got to keep just a little space warm, and your body heat can only do so much.
Yeah.
So you can partition off a piece of that to try and keep warm. If you do have fuel, your car runs, but maybe you're just stuck, you're not sure where to go, just run the car for 10 minutes per hour.
Oh,
That
okay.
way, you're saving fuel, but you're still keeping yourself warm. So
It's a good idea.
start that sucker up, blast the heat for 10 minutes, get your Tootsies warm up, turn it off. That way you can serve
10 minutes an hour.
10 minutes
And
an
your
hour.
motor stays fairly warm enough to
Yeah, exactly.
keep starting.
Yeah, so think about that. But as you're
idea.
doing this, you need to regularly check that your exhaust isn't clogged.
Yeah.
Because when that happens, you get those fumes.
Your lungs get clogged.
Yeah, your lungs will get clogged, and you'll go night night, and you won't
won't
wake
even
up.
know.
You won't even know.
Like, man, I'm tired today.
Why am I so tired? I was going to take a little nap while the car runs. And speaking of that, don't go to sleep while the engine's running because of that issue. Because if it's like snowing as
Keeps
you're
running
sleeping,
and then it plugs and boom,
plugs.
you're dead.
Yep, not good. Another thing to think about, if you still have any sort of radio signal for your like AM, FM, try and run the vehicle to coincide with those news and weather broadcasts that they're either at the top or the mid of the hour, whatever it is. That way you can get some information on the weather, or maybe they're talking about you. You've been gone for a bit, and they're saying, "Hey, we've got a lost person. We're looking for him here," or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
again, information in a survival situation is huge. I guarantee you those people that were stuck on I-95 were listening to the radio. But if you can do that, if you can turn your car on to coincide with those when you figure that out, that's just going to give you, the information as well. If you need to get out of the vehicle and it's a blizzard, this can become kind of treacherous sometimes. I don't know if you've ever been in a straight whiteout.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see 2 feet in front of you. You don't know where you're walking. You don't know where you're going. It can be a scary situation. So,
Everything I've owned had locking hubs.
Oh, yeah. So you
like a
have to go.
Subaru car.
Yeah.
Get out and it's like,
Yeah.
if you step 2 feet away, you probably lose your car. You're like,
Yeah.
where am I?
It can get really scary. So if it gets to that point, tie a lifeline to your vehicle.
I wondered about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least that way you're not going to wander off and just, and lose the vehicle. That'd be the worst thing.
It would be.
To die like 30 feet from your car because you couldn't find it in a blizzard. And just give up and lay down. Go to sleep,
Crank the radio up maybe while you get out.
Oh, that's
you
not a
can
bad idea.
Hear your way
Yeah,
back.
or just make the horn stuck so it's just constantly blaring.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, I can hear it. Follow the noise. So anyways, think about that. As much as you can, stay hydrated, stay fed. Again, it's really hard to generate body heat when you haven't consumed any calories. It makes it much tougher. So keep hydrated, keep fed if you can. Again, steer clear of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's going to impair your judgment. I don't know if you've heard about this, but when you drink a lot of alcohol,
You feel warm.
you feel warm, but you do stupid things. So don't do it unless it's like last. I mean, I just don't do it. Okay, don't drink the alcohol if you're stuck in the car. You can do some light exercises when you're inside the car, moving your arms and legs, clapping your hands. I know that sounds really stupid, but when you clap your hands, it brings the blood, gets the blood flowing, brings the blood to the surface. It helps you maintain. Yeah, sing.
What about slapping other things?
No, you can't. I don't.
I'm just talking about your thighs.
Okay.
and your
I don't.
chest and stuff.
Or, I thought you were going somewhere else.
I was, but
you were okay. Yeah, slap whatever you want. Any body parts, just get them slapping and maintain that circulation.
just slapping everything.
Maintain
Honey, this is going to keep blood to the surface.
Oh gosh, I knew that was going to happen on
Toby's
this
so
too.
distracted.
I knew it.
I was just talking about slapping.
That will help maintain circulation. If you do have another person,
Sure will.
If you do have another person in the car with you, you can huddle up for warmth.
Yeah.
All right.
Slap
It's
each other.
It's going to be awkward if it's
Slap
just
her back. She can slap your back.
honey, I'm going to slap your thighs.
I'm going to slap the back of your head. Was that okay?
Yeah. I'm going for your forehead now. Brace
Just
yourself.
some small taps on your face and stuff.
Give me your bra. My ears are cold, babe. All right. Yeah, you can huddle for warmth. It's going to be awkward if you're like with a coworker or something, maybe. But you know, you got to do what you got to do to stay
Hey,
alive.
Jim.
You know,
Jim, I listened to this podcast.
I'm not joking.
There's only one way we're going to stay alive.
We got to get together and we got to slap each other. And I hope you got a bra, man.
Get your feet off the floor, buddy. Get your feet off the floor.
Come on, Jimmy. Lay on that horn. I got to go around the car. Okay.
Turn on that music.
Call this a Chinese fire drill. I'm
Let
getting
me
out.
hold your belt. I'm going out to check the exhaust.
Give me that hoodie string. I'm going to tie it to the mirror.
String. Seriously.
Oh my gosh. I gotta never mind. This is okay. Getting off subject here. Use okay, so you can use extra layers to help, trap body heat, such as
Stupid stuff.
things like
Jim, if you keep in 3-second intervals, keep yelling out the window so I don't get lost.
just keep clapping your hands, buddy. It's for you and me. Okay. Sing a
All
folk
right,
song. Sing a folk song, buddy. I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. That works, Jimmy. Well done.
When we were stranded in the car and
Cameron's walking
find
in
your
the
way
snow.
back to me. Oh man,
We should-
everybody stop listening.
Oh, okay. You can use extra layers. So
I
like,
was writing notes and now I stopped because this is pointless.
and now I feel dumber. You can use things like removable floor mats
Yeah,
and like your paper maps to wrap around you, make a little cocoon.
true.
And that will help trap the body heat. This comes directly
Just
from
walk back into town. You've got a bra on your head, a map wrapped around you, and you got a mat,
floor mats
two
around
floor
your
mats,
thighs,
Like,
like a loincloth floor mats.
is that a skirt? No,
No, it's not a skirt.
you're still holding on to the string from your car. Yeah, I want to show you where the rest of them are. Just follow me.
Just follow me. If you hear clapping, we're getting close. Jim's back there clapping his ass off.
He's been clapping all day. I've been gone like 12 hours. That guy's probably, his hands are raw.
He's a good boy, though. Getting her done.
I didn't think you'd come back.
You come back and his hands are red. And you're just like laying on the floor of the car.
Coach, you're back.
I knew you'd make it.
This is all bloodshot. Oh, my hands are so sore.
Well,
But I'm alive.
I usually got a bunch of old like
Gonna have
McDonald's
my hood
wrappers.
string back.
Yeah. Can't hold up my pants without my drawstring.
Oh,
You got all those old McDonald's wrappers. You
everywhere.
got empty water bottles. Just pull them all on top of you.
That's true.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
That'll
a
help.
little
Yeah.
distance between you and the weathers.
That's right. A small candle, even if you had a little candle, you keep the window cracked because again
Yeah.
the candle sucks up all the oxygen. It can actually heat up a small car.
I
Just
believe
one
it.
candle.
That's crazy.
Now I know
I got a whole bunch of those. Let's just
the
throw 'em in
world
the
is
back of
mad.
the car.
Yeah, put them in the back of the car.
I'd heard people too, like you could cut like a hole in the bottom, and then
Of
like,
your car?
in the garbage bag,
Oh,
and one of those little candles, and you just kind of like surround yourself in it. That'll heat quite a bit.
that sounds like I would
You
suffocate,
probably would,
but it would be a.
but no, like you can consolidate the heat in
I
the
see what
bag
you
from
mean.
just one of those little teeny candles.
Okay, it's like making your own hot hands thing.
Yeah,
Just a big bag.
yeah,
You
exactly.
hold on to it.
And then you get enough heat in there, it's like an air balloon. Just take yourself,
Float your way to safety.
just make sure you got the string.
Exactly. You gotta have that lifeline.
Cars down there.
Keep clapping.
How many feet up am I? It's like 2 feet above the car.
So in these situations, do your best to communicate where you are. If your cell phone's working, voice or text, use it
Yeah.
as early and as often as you can. Use your radio if you have two-way radios or a CB radio or I don't know any kind of radio. Use it.
Yeah.
If you can.
Batteries do not do well in cold.
They don't.
cold.
They're gonna go. They're
So
gonna
you're
go quick.
Like call as much as you can. Call people.
You can use
Old
things.
friends.
You can-
Old high school buddies.
Yeah. Anybody you can get a hold of.
Yeah.
Just let them know. I'm stuck.
Sure you are.
I'm clapping. I'm ready to be rescued.
What's that sound in the background?
That's Jim.
It's my hands.
That's Jim. Use road flares if you have them.
Yeah.
Especially if you see search helicopters or anything like that.
Countermeasures.
Yeah. Antenna flags, put those up. Put SOS in the snow.
Yeah.
Put it big.
Yeah.
So people can see it that are flying overhead. Use your mirrors to reflect. Build a damn fire. Lay on the horn. Again, the horn is loud.
Is
I don't know if you ever heard those
drive you
things.
insane.
Yeah. So just freaking honk every little bit so people or just let it go,
Yeah. You can probably cut into the steering wheel and tie the
Might be able to.
My truck. It's like shorted anyway.
Yeah.
I've like tied them off, but you could just tie those together, go
Yeah.
to sleep.
But again, yeah, the horn it's gonna
Yeah.
be loud.
Somebody's gonna get
Someone
annoyed
might
by
hear
that.
it, right? I just said, start shooting a video of some sort. Somebody's gonna show up and ask what you're doing.
No, that's the freaking truth.
I just say that because
I
anytime
might
Cam
as
and
well post this.
yeah, anytime Cam and I go out to shoot a video, maybe in the wilderness or something, somebody shows up out of nowhere. We're in the middle of nowhere, and there's someone there looking at us.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys
I
doing?
don't think we would ever
No.
be stranded.
Just
Because
get your phone out, start shooting a
start
video.
making video.
Gosh, they're gonna come running. The old prepper rule of keeping your tank at least half full is a huge issue when it comes to surviving because the more fuel you have, the better your chance of survival. And that guy, he was in there for 2 months, and your fuel's not gonna last for 2 months, but it could last for a few days
Yeah.
if you needed to, especially if you're going in intervals.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So keep that tank half full. Another reason to keep it half full, deer. Communication again before you leave somewhere. Make sure you're telling people where you're going.
Yeah.
Don't just
a lot
be,
of people do that. They're just like,
I know.
yeah, I'll be fine.
My dad does it all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where'd you go?" I was out in the middle of Book Cliffs, 455 miles out. I'm like, "Did you tell anybody?" Nah, we're all good. I'm like,
I've been out here before.
"Yeah, I've been out there 100 times." I'm like,
It's
"Dad,
true.
you tell people where you're going because at least if you don't come back, we know where to go."
Yeah, there's so
looking
many of
for
those
you.
stories. There's like, I realized I didn't tell somebody.
Yeah, not smart. Anyways, those are a few things to think about.
Yeah, no, those are good. This is a pretty short little list.
Okay.
And some of you may have thought about more of these items that you already have in your vehicle that could be used as survival gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go through just like 5 of them.
Okay.
Not a lot. But mirrors have a lot of use because you can signal for help, try and reflect them in ways that, there's somebody flying over, try and hit it. Try and hit it.
You can talk to yourself if you needed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pep talks.
Yeah, you could do it. Yeah. See my hand.
You will live. You will survive.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it to kind of reflect sunlight onto like a piece of metal to melt snow and things like that. So
Oh, wow.
mirrors have their uses.
Yeah.
Seats, like there's a lot of material in those. Yeah, you probably don't want to cut up your car the first hour that you're stranded. But after a while, it's like, man, I'm just going to get all this foam up, out of these other seats, consolidate your area, cover yourself in the foam.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. You've got firewall, heat protection because it has usually a thick padding of typically it's like wool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good heat material there. Trap some heat in. You got gas in the tank. You probably don't have necessarily like a funnel or something, but you could always cut the gas line. That's going to make starting fires a lot easier.
A siphon is nice to have in your vehicle.
It is.
Though.
And I have one in there.
Oh, man. Look at you.
But being able to like siphon the gas out if you can't, crawl in your car, get stuck, cutting the gas line, but get up in the motor. There's ways to get some of that fuel out. And then you talked about the hubcaps.
Yep.
If you're still driving an Oldsmobile Omega or something, pop the hubcap off. You got your dinner plate right there.
Dinner plate. You got something to fry your deer on. Venison steak.
Frisbee inside the car.
Yep.
Whatever.
Bedpan.
But
whatever you need.
Yeah, bedpan. Yeah, true.
Yeah. You don't want to get out of the car to take a piss.
No. But yeah, those are some of the basic things. There's a lot in there that like people could use to kind of get them a little further. Mm-hmm. Like even thinking of the air filter, like that material is like a paper base, so you could help start a fire if it's all wet everywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, using just the basic items inside your car to survive. But we're going to tell you how to prepare better with better items to get you a lot further. But let's say right now, listen to this podcast, you go off the road. Mm-hmm. I just gave you some good tips.
Yeah, write those down.
Battery's
going
to die. Yeah. So you better finish this podcast.
Exactly. So let's talk about the different types of vehicles and their pros and cons for long-term, short-term survival. And this is for, if you're just going to survive in a couple days in a snowstorm if you had to, or if you're going to be using these as a long-term like BOV, bug-out vehicle or something like that. Just the different types of cars. And the first one we're going to talk about, which is the most common, is the everyday commuter, right? Maybe this is the car that you're driving to work every day. Right. Usually just like a sedan, some sort of a, little car, Mercury Milan or something like that. The nice thing about them, here's some pros. They usually have a whole bunch of junk in there.
Tons. I've got like 16 battle boxes in my trunk.
Exactly. Like seriously, you're gonna have food, you're gonna have water, you're gonna have random toys and clothing and books and all sorts of junk because, if you got kids and you're taking them places, if you're going back and forth from work, you've always got papers and different things. So
you got food under the seats for
you definitely
a long
do.
time.
Yeah. This is usually a pretty inconspicuous type of vehicle. It's going to blend in, especially in some sort of emergency situation for like a bug out vehicle or something like that. So that could be a pro. You're less likely to be picked out by the bad guys in some sort of a long-term SHTF.
They're looting cars and still.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really care about the Mercury Milan. They're going to go for the Hummer.
They do.
No, they don't. Cameron, they don't. It probably gets pretty good gas mileage.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing.
That's why you're commuting in it.
Yeah. For most situations, in a short-term survival in your car, 3 days in a snowstorm, it's going to run longer. You're going to have that heater for a longer amount of time, so that's probably good. Probably has some pretty good speed. It's probably a quick little car or something like that. That could be great, depending on what it is. It is usually a smaller area to keep warm.
Yeah.
It's not a huge, SUV. It's not something like that is going to take more heat to get heated up. It's going to be smaller, so that is nice. And it probably has a quiet engine. Yeah. And that is probably more of a plus for like a long-term bug-out vehicle type situation. But there are some cons to these types of vehicles. Most likely, it's not going to be four-wheel drive.
Nope.
Most likely. So it's going to be a little bit limited in that area. You're not going to be going off-road. You're not going to be climbing a mountain with your Mercury Milan. Cam, I apologize, but it's not going to happen.
I've gone a lot of good places with that car. You'd be surprised.
I would be surprised, probably. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a little bit less robust than like an SUV or a bug-out vehicle. Your space could be limited, and that could be a downfall. You can't carry as much gear in there, and so that is a little bit of a con. You might have a shit ton of miles on that sucker. Because if it's a commuter, you probably got 450,000 miles and just pushing that thing to its limits, possibly.
Burning oil more than gas.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It probably isn't going to be EMP proof like we talk about. Again, that's a very vague term that we don't know what's what, but probably isn't going to be because it probably has all the newfangled stuff if it's your commuter. And it's probably not going to tow anything either.
Yeah.
If you needed to. Probably not. So that's the everyday commuter car. Let's talk about a bug-out vehicle now. And again, a bug-out vehicle could be a whole bunch of different things, but we're kind of going for like the typical, four-wheel drive beastie, truck like Cam has or some sort of a Hummer or a Jeep or something like that. It's probably four-wheel drive. That's great. It probably has okay gas mileage. This could go either way.
Not terrible.
Yeah. It could be EMP proof.
Yeah.
We think Cam's probably is more EMP proof than mine, which is a newer truck, right? So
We need to test it.
we do need to test
Got to
it.
get an EMP.
Yeah. I keep thinking one's going to go off and we're going
I
to be able
know.
to get a video done, but it hasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier to fix. I don't know. Cam's truck definitely is easier to fix
Yeah.
than mine.
Everything's pretty accessible.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Going to be more robust. It's going to be full of good gear all the time. So if you're in your bug out vehicle and you get stranded, maybe you're just out on a weekend drive and you get stranded somewhere in the snow in your bug out vehicle, that's a great one to be stranded in because
Yeah.
you probably have a whole bunch of cool gear in there. It's
do.
going to help you survive, right? So that's a great pro there. If it's a truck, you probably have that bed for additional gear for hauling things. Put a mobile garden back there, mobile hot tub, whatever you want to do. That's a good pro for the BOV. And let's go to the cons. Might have bad gas mileage.
Yeah, mine got terrible.
Mine got's bad. Yeah, he says. Could be old as shit.
Yep.
That could be bad. Less room, possibly.
Yeah, far less room.
Probably going to stand out. Probably super loud.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because it's like you're wanting it to be a bug out, but you're like, I want it to be in use, and I also want it to look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
You lose some of these.
And let's go to the last one, which is like an SUV or a station wagon type thing. The pros on these is they have more space for people or activities.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? And when I say activities, I'm talking about like sleeping or something like that. Rubbing yourself together, slapping thighs.
Slapping thighs.
Whatever it is you got to do, right?
Necking.
Necking, yes. It probably has a larger fuel tank, which
Yeah.
could be a plus. Can fit more gear for any type of survival situation, and it might be four-wheel drive. Probably is four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, whatever it is.
Yeah, typically.
And then we got the cons. It can be harder to heat since they're larger. Again, going back to that survival situation. Might have lower gas mileage, and it could be a larger target,
For sure.
you know? So
I know that the smash and grab peeps, that's what they would go for, is the SUV.
the SUV. Yep, exactly. So those are
That's
the
good.
kind of types of vehicles and, you know, the pros and cons for long-term, short-term survival stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So some of the vehicle modifications to consider with either like the Commuter or your bug out or whatever are some things to kind of help prepare your vehicle for, you know, more rugged or for longer, you know, scenarios where you're living in them. Number one is probably look into the best tires for the terrain that you're living in or that you're expecting to deal with. Like here, we get all kinds of weird weather fluctuations.
Yeah.
Road will be covered in snow and ice for a while. And then it'll rain, be wet, and then, you know, driveways even get muddy and stuff like that. So a good all-terrain tire, not one that's balding, you know, get that switched out as soon as possible. Make sure they're not going flat. Fix that flat.
Tires are balding. I like he said balding.
Balding. Yes. It is a verb.
I know, it's just funny.
Bald that tire. The other things that you can do are extended cargo.
Yeah.
Like for our Pilot, we have like a hitch like that folds out, so you can put more gear. You can put a cooler and things like that on there. Something as simple as that, or you can get a roof rack. You can get like inside the bed, you can get a whole system that like has more carrying space and
Yeah.
keeps it all from getting wet and all that stuff. The tent racks, I've always wanted one of these that like you can pop up a tent on top of a truck bed or an
Yeah.
SUV. Those would be sweet, especially if you're stranded. You don't, more space. It's an
Yeah.
easier area to kind of keep warm and things like that. Plus, you can get rid of your kids so that it's quieter
Exactly, yeah.
inside the cab. The other thing is traveling in winter. If you do get stranded, the antifreeze ratio, like during the winter, you want to make sure you have more antifreeze so you're not freezing up the fuel lines and you're not putting antifreeze in your gas tank, but
That's where you put it right in the gas tank.
fuel additives,
Yeah.
to make sure that you're not going to, if you're stranded in those sub-zero temperatures for a
Yeah.
long period, you're not getting that
Yeah,
vehicle
if you're
started again.
If you're driving a diesel, for sure that'll gel up.
Yeah.
You gotta
so you
have
got to
something in
keep up on the seasons and change those things.
there.
There's we have some of these in the battle box right now. A gray man tactical Molly. You've got supervisor, Not like the type that keeps track of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they call it a supervisor because it's like a big organizational pack that you put on your visor.
Mm-hmm.
But doing those things is kind of keeps all of your items organized and easily accessible.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're going to put like your seatbelt cutter and all that stuff.
See, I have the Gray Man Tactical Molly thing in my truck. I don't have much on it right now. I have a nice first aid kit on there right now, but I'm looking to get to where I can get my fire extinguisher on there.
Yeah.
And a couple other things. I just haven't got to it yet.
Like these things may seem over the top and something that would be, more extreme, tactical. But if you get in like a rollover,
oh yeah,
all your stuff just gets shuffled around,
Who
and
knows?
maybe you're stuck right there in your seat. If it's all behind you, you know where it's at. That you're going to be glad that you have like a tactical molly, especially like on the headrest and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
for sure.
So, look into getting some of those will really kind of up your preparations. The most of the new vehicles have those inverters in them, so you have like an outlet where you can plug in a regular cell phone charger, maybe a laptop, maybe an iPad for entertainment. Like those things are huge, and I have like a portable one that I think its peak wattage is like 600 watts. But if you don't have an inverter already built in, it's a good thing to invest in. They're not very expensive through places like Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
You just plug it in your cigarette lighter, and it inverts it so you have just regular AC power instead of DC. I can't remember which one's which. I'm stupid, okay?
I love ACDC.
Me too. A utility box is always super nice. If you have a pickup bed, store all your items in there, keep them safe and clean and dry. The other thing is to get there's the bed covers. You can just crawl underneath there and
I've been wanting to
sleep.
get one.
I know.
They're
Those
just not
would be
cheap.
nice. They're not. They have some fancy ones too. It's like pretty insulated. You could use that, but I would like to get a shell at one point for my pickup.
That'd be cool.
So you just have like a little, play house back there.
That's right.
My dad had a carpet kit, and it's
my dad
sweet
did
because
too,
you can
man.
like change them around. You can have seating. You can have a bed. You can store stuff underneath it. But yeah, if you're using it, like that's one thing I'm looking into for my pickup as a bug out vehicle because I have single cab.
Yeah.
It's like I've got to have more space. And, the shells look hideous on most vehicles, but I don't even care. I'd like to have the ability. It's like, I'm going to go up. This is going to be my vehicle. I want a shell and carpet kit, sleep better. Great. It's great. Consider, some simple things you could do with your engine to make it perform a little better, start a little easier, like a high flow air filter, cold air intake system. And you can do that on some of the newer ones too, but you just have to look that up. Suspension, my truck needs beefier springs and, it's really bouncy. I think if I was to load it, I put quite a bit of dirt in it and it's like bottoming out.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're going to start building this bug out vehicle or reinforcing your vehicle, like the suspension and everything needs to be looked into. You need to really tighten that up, get it bigger, maybe lift it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the engine compartment, like my truck has a ton of space in there. So I've put additional little, they're almost like a battery cover.
Yeah.
I've strapped extra ones in there because it's just a perfect compartment to store
tools,
different parts for the truck, tools. I have gloves in there. I have all this different stuff that you can use to take up that space in there that there's a massive amount in some of those older vehicles.
For sure.
But anyways, those are simple little things that you can do to kind of prepare your vehicle better, use up the space that's just there, and make all of your gear more organized and easier to get to.
I like it.
My voice is giving out.
Uh-oh.
So, before we move on, I want to talk to you about cybercrime. It sucks, and it happens all the time.
It does.
Always online, doing a lot of work from online. Maybe you're surfing for some cool stuff. That's where you need to get Surfshark.
Oh, yes.
It is a virtual private network that can protect you and all your devices from online threats. Don't lose your social security number, your credit cards. When you're going online, you need to go on through a private server, and this is how you do it.
Okay.
So, the one thing I really like about it is they have the simplest app ever. You just go, you don't even have to search. You just get it. You just click it for the best server, and it'll find one.
Yeah.
And when you're connected to it, it'll kill your internet if you disconnect from it.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah. So it's like you're not surfing unprotected.
It's like when you're riding a snowmobile and you got the kill switch.
Yeah.
You fall off, your snowmobile stops.
Has a built-in
Same
kill
thing.
switch.
Built-in
you
kill
know
switch.
that you're protected because if you're online, you're protected.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really cool about it is with our code, you can get 83% off 24 months plus an extra 3.
That's insane.
Over 2 years of protection for less than $2. It's like $2.20 a month.
Jeez.
Just shy of $60. 27 months.
That's an
If you don't
energy
even
drink.
know how to use this, you can get 30 days money back guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
One subscription covers every device, 24-hour support, 30-day risk-free. Go to surfshark.deals, casual preppers, and try it out.
I love it.
It's great.
It is.
I purchased it for myself. I used it in airports when I travel. Anywhere I'm like on a public wireless
Oh, yes.
system, I'm like instantly turn it on, and I don't even have to worry.
That's beautiful.
I can look at all my dirties and
Surfshark. Surfshark. So, Cam, let's start talking about your kits in your vehicle and the gear that you might stock this with that would help you in any of these survival situations, whether it be a bug-out vehicle or just your everyday commuter or going on a trip or something like that. There's a whole bunch of things that you could put in there to make your life a lot easier
For sure.
in some of these situations. You're not going to be able to get all of these. Like, there's no way. Well, it depends. But these are just some ideas for your kit. So the first thing I would say, I was going to put this at the end, but I think it's more important than that. Your kits, like your EDC bag, your bug out bag, your get home bag, it's a great place for them.
Yeah.
Is your vehicle.
Yeah.
These things, these bags you've already made, like your bug out bag, you've built it to sustain you for 72 hours. If you have that in your vehicle,
You're just sitting in your vehicle. That's
what the heck?
You're
You're
good.
already there.
Yeah.
Right? You should, if you've built these correctly, it's going to help you survive. If you get stranded on I-95, you're going to be the guy back there, starting a fire and making toast from the bread. Everybody else is eating raw bread. All right? I mean, just think about that. Have your bug out bag in there. If you don't have your bug out bag, have some sort of a get home bag.
Yeah.
It's going to be really similar to a bug out bag. I keep my EDC / get home bag in there, and
Right.
that has so much gear that really I should be fine for 72 hours if I had to.
right.
Right? So just think about that. You're already working on these kits. You're already building them. If you're going on any sort of a trip, if you're in your vehicle, just put them in there.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
I always like overstock on
Yes.
the crap in my car. It's like
Yeah.
I take up half the space with gear.
I do too.
My
If
wife's
I'm
like, "What are
leaving
you
town,
doing?"
if I'm leaving
don't have
town,
enough.
I'm bringing it. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
Right? So just think about that first off. So here's some things you can think about. A gas can with some additional fuel. This is hard if it's a car.
You're always paranoid about it
Yeah,
leaking out.
I don't like it. But if you have a truck or something like that, or
Yeah.
a Jeep and you have it mounted, great to have a gas can with some additional fuel, because running out of gas can be a horrible situation, and this could keep you moving and keep you safe. So think about a gas can. Every vehicle in the entire world needs to have jumper cables or a battery-powered jumper.
Right.
If you don't have one, you're not winning at life. You're
Right.
losing at life. You have to have one of those in your vehicles.
Yeah.
That is like the most common thing is your battery dying and you can't get your car started. How
By far the
stupid-
most common way to be stranded.
How stupid would you feel as a prepper?
I have felt stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's happened to me.
It's happened to you. But you've got to have jumper cables or a battery-powered jumper.
Yeah.
I mean, those battery-powered jumpers, they're so useful anyways.
useful.
They usually have a flashlight on them. They usually
charge
have
your devices
You
on
can
'em.
charge
You
your
got
devices.
USB.
Yeah. Like, just go get one. They're relatively inexpensive. That should be
Yeah, they
top
are
priority.
now. Yep. Cost
Top
hardly
priority.
anything.
Yep. Cam loves countermeasures.
I sure
road
do.
flares.
Yeah.
Get some road flares. Get some glow sticks. These are things that can help you in an emergency situation in your
Yeah.
vehicle.
It's a guaranteed fire starter.
For sure.
Sitting there.
Yeah. Crack those glow sticks and pour it all over yourself. You look like a ghost in the middle of the night walking through the forest. You can't lose each other. You have to have a spare tire, and you got to have a jack. You got to have a way to change your tire.
Yeah.
This is an issue for a lot of people.
And make
as well.
sure that you can get these older vehicles. It's like
yeah.
rusted on there.
Oh yes.
Like make sure you test that system out once in a
yeah.
while.
Got to have a blowtorch to get that sucker
Seriously,
off. Man.
I've gotten to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm done.
Food and water. This probably saved that girl that had 2 candy bars. I bet she wished she would have had more
Yeah.
in her vehicle.
I bet it was Twix.
Probably Twix. Maybe
She
just
just
one
considered
candy
it
bar.
2 candy bars.
Considered it too. But you've got to have some food.
Yeah.
And you got to have some water. And there's so many easy ways to do this. Again, if you have your bug out bag or if you have your get home bag, you probably have some food in there. But some easy stuff, granola bars or those 5-year food bars is what I have in mind.
Yeah.
Because again, I could throw them in there. They don't have to be cooked, and they're going to stay good for 5 years. I love those things.
I do too.
And they're
That's what
high
I have
calories.
in mind is those MREs where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm only going to use these in the worst case scenario anyway.
Yes.
And it being in my vehicle stranded, probably when it's going to happen.
It's going to keep you alive. It's going to keep you going. It's not going to be gourmet meal or anything like that, but you're going to stay alive, and you're going to have the calories you need if you need to do something with your body. So have food, have some water. Again, water is tough because they can freeze. That's the only reason I like to take those pouches is because they don't freeze and burst, and it doesn't compromise the water inside if they get too hot.
Yeah,
that's the nice thing about those water pouches. A lot of people think they're useless, but they're really not.
Yeah,
they're great.
And those are the best ones to stuff in the little nooks and crannies in your car. You're like wedge it in there.
You could have 100 of those things in there.
I have quite a few in the back. Where you just have all that empty plastic space,
but also have like a hydro flask, something to keep water in as well, and then have a water filter.
Yeah,
the Sawyer Mini takes up no space, bro.
No, it doesn't.
How about a first aid kit?
It's a good idea.
Was it last year? I had a pretty nice first aid kit. I rolled up on a crash. I was like the second person there. I was able to grab my first aid kit, go out and help somebody clean themselves off. You just don't know what's going to happen in your vehicle. If you get stranded for 3 or 4 days, who knows what's going to happen? You got to have a first aid kit.
Yeah.
If you have kids, you got to just strap one to your back all the time. So you get a first aid kit. A toolkit.
Go on a hike and they just step out of the car and fall on their knee.
Yeah, exactly. A toolkit. You got to be able to fix things that are broken, so you got to have tools.
I had that little what's that fire? The
roaring fire.
Roaring fire. Yeah,
yeah.
It's all of my tools are rolled up in it, and so it's just kind of nice.
Those are nice. Those are really nice.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to have some sort of illumination lighting. I prefer a headlamp in my vehicle. I have one in my door.
It's the best thing.
They are the best. I don't care what anyone says.
If you're working on something or crawling under something.
You want a headlamp.
Yeah.
And you can get them for really inexpensive. So just get a headlamp and to have one dedicated to your vehicle.
Yeah.
You're probably going to, if you have your EDC pack, you're probably going to have a flashlight in there as well. A lot of people have flashlights on them all the time for their EDC, so you're probably going to have that. I have a headlamp and I have another flashlight. I have an Olight S1 Baton in this little EDC kit in my middle console.
Yeah.
Besides the one I have in my EDC bag. So
those things, like some of them kick out a lot of heat.
They do, yeah.
Like you just have it on for like 2 or 3 minutes and it's a hand warmer.
It'll burn through your damn fingers
What's that?
If you're not careful.
That one that I have that's like 9,000 lumens.
Oh, I don't know. Jeez.
Anyways, yeah, that sucker gets like flaming hot.
You could start a fire probably.
But you just run it for like a minute and then warm your hands up.
Exactly. You got to have a shovel or even like a foldable shovel, like an entrenching tool or something like that, especially when snow is involved. Those are great to have. A vehicle escape tool. Cam talked about that, but having one strapped to, like your visor or somewhere close to where you're driving so you can use it to either bust a window or cut your seatbelt, whatever you need when you get into that situation. There's a million of them, and they cost nothing. So get one.
They have like 16 tools built into them.
Yeah. A knife, obviously. You got to have a knife everywhere. You got to have a knife in every room. You might as well have one in your vehicle. Maps, again, we talked about that, but that's great for when the grid is down or something like that. You need to know where you're going. Or kilt. That's right. A skirt of some sort that you can make out of a map. Blankets. I keep a wool blanket in my vehicle. Cam keeps a wool blanket in his.
Yeah, every one of them has a wool blanket.
They are beautiful survival tools. Get a wool blanket. It takes up no space. I just
so
put it
many
on my
uses.
seat.
It's like the best thing to have in there.
Get one.
One of the best.
Hats, gloves, socks, and jackets, especially when it comes to wintertime. Having those in there can be lifesavers as well.
Yeah.
So keep those back there.
I always throw my snow boots in when I go on a little, if we're going to like Brigham or something.
It's a great idea.
A couple hours. I'm like, I'm not going to walk to a gas station.
No.
I shouldn't be leaving anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I forget that one, so I gotta be better about it. Fire extinguisher. Cars start on fire all the time, and you're gonna want a fire extinguisher. Right. Antifreeze, so you can dump it in your gas tank. Gas. Don't do that.
It's a good article I read.
Yeah. Oil, obviously. Yeah, you could get in a situation where lose oil pressure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just pour that on fire.
You could pour that on fire.
Let that burn forever.
Yep, exactly. Duct tape.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful duct tape. Toe strap. You got to pull somebody out. You got to pull yourself out.
Yeah, that's the one thing I need to buy.
Could be a lifeline. You got hook it to your belt loop.
Yeah, there you go.
You walk around with a toe strap.
There you go.
Washer fluid, again, you hate getting stuck somewhere with that windshield wiper fluid
man.
in a snowstorm. It becomes a bad
That semi's
deal.
like, and then you're like, I don't have any washer
I'm
fluid.
going to die.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to die. Rain gear. That one's a huge one.
Yeah.
Too. Backup USB charger, always
For
good.
some reason, you're going to get out to pee or poop and like getting soaked and getting back in your car. You got to have that rain gear.
Exactly. Toiletries are always nice to have in there. I keep a roll of toilet paper in my truck at all times.
I got the
We've all-
toilet
the shit
paper?
kit.
Yeah,
the
I
shit
have those
kit.
little.
Those are
packs.
nice. Those are great. But even having some soap or some hand sanitizer in your vehicle nowadays, you got hand sanitizer every 10 feet from you. But have
Speaking of sanitation, did you know that diarrhea is
Sucks?
hereditary?
Is it really?
Yeah, it runs in your genes. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, two-way radios. Again, those if you have an extra set that you don't use often, keep them in your truck. You could utilize those. You never know. You pick up random stuff on there all the time. If you get stranded,
That's true.
who knows? Every time Cam and I get on, there's some other guy. Hey, who you guys talking to?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Avoid road I-40. You're like, yeah, piss.
Yeah. So, anyways, think about
There's
it.
a truck stopped on the side. Please avoid it.
Don't look at it.
That's
Just
me.
Drive by.
They're clapping in there, and two men are rubbing together.
Got a bra on his head. He's looking weird.
And reports of a man. Yeah.
Wearing a map kilt. Zip ties. Those
His
are always
horn
great.
stuck on.
Yeah. Zip ties, fire starter.
Yeah.
Why not have some extra in your vehicle? You get in that situation.
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard fire starter. Arr. A tarp or a survival blanket. We talked about that. That's great. Cordage of some sort that can always come in handy. I already talked about water purification, but that's a good one. Cash. Again, always have cash with you. If you have a little bit in your vehicle, that's great.
Yeah.
It's always good. Self-defense.
Flammable, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worst comes to worst.
Unless it's coins, then it's not flammable. I got a bunch of quarters.
Strike them together. Come on, nickel.
I'm going to throw a quarter in there, see if that helps. Pennies aren't doing it.
Give off a different flame, maybe.
Yeah. Smells funny. Self-defense weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, for survival, maybe that's
You
not a
heat
huge
those
deal.
coins and put them back in your pocket.
You heat them and throw them at people. That's self-defense.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
you could eat them up and put them in your pockets.
Yep.
It's like hand warmers.
I don't have to clap my thighs anymore.
Yeah, I just put my hands in my pockets and then you have old Abe Lincoln burned into your hand.
Hey, it's survival.
It is survival. You do what you got to do. I talked about energy bars, energy drinks, energy gum, energy candy,
Energy.
5-hour energy. If you can find 6-hour energy, that's even better. But, if you do get to a point where it's like last ditch effort, I've got to leave or I'm going to die,
Yeah.
down one of those suckers, we all hopped up and just head out. You know what I mean?
Yep. Those. Yeah. The rubber. The rubber.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
The little floor guards. The mats.
the
The
mats,
rubber
yeah.
mats aren't going to weigh you down if you drink an energy
That's
drink
right.
right before.
Okay, yeah. And then have a way to boil water, like a container to
Yeah.
boil it in, and the way to make a fire. So those are some things you can think. A candle is another one to put in
Candle's
there.
big deal.
Candle and a way to make fire. So a lighter.
Yeah.
Again, those are in your EDC kits. I would hope so.
No, I've got that crap like scattered all over in there.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
like a lighter in the the glove compartment.
Yeah,
Fire rope like somewhere underneath the
for
seat.
sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for like a bug out plan, your vehicle may be like your living quarters. That may be your bug out location. You're just going to get out and you're going to live up in the woods. Your vehicle is like a perfect shelter. I mean, it's built to protect you from the weather,
It sure is. Yeah.
from high speed winds. So, anyways, as a shelter, like some of the pros of it being is it's mobile. You can move it if you don't like where you're parked.
Just go somewhere else.
Yeah. There's bears and stuff. Just go to
Yeah.
a different part of the woods.
People you don't like,
Yeah.
keep
move it.
driving. They'll probably follow
I
you.
guarantee you, no matter where you park, somebody can park next to you. So you
Yeah.
can move it.
Yep.
Significant carrying and storage capacity.
Yep.
It's like a big bug out bag. You got your bug out bag in there. It's more bug out bag
Big
stuff.
aluminum bug out bag
Right.
with wheels.
It carries multiple people, regardless. Fitness of their fitness.
That's true.
Typically excellent weather resistance.
Yeah, typically.
Provides an on-demand power. I mean, it's a generator.
Gosh dang,
Motor's a generator.
That Ford Lightning that can like run your house
I know,
for
I
3
know.
days. So cool.
There's such mixed. I have such
I know.
mixed feelings with those battery
I do
ones. I'm
too.
like, man, it would be so awesome, but at the same time,
So not awesome.
you're like, can anybody plug me in?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what do? You just gotta
I
get
know.
towed, I guess.
I'm like, there's so many great things. If it was like a short term, but a long term, man. That's
yeah.
It can be used to push, pull, and tow heavy objects.
Yeah, exactly.
You can hook up to a manure spreader. Probably not.
In
but
case you need to.
yeah, because that's what Burt Gumner did.
Oh, that's right.
But he had a whole freaking cat. Cons, it requires fuel. Supplies might be highly limited by the event.
Yes.
Breakdowns, maintenance, you always have to deal with that crap. There's no AARP, or
AARP?
No, they
for
give
old
you-
people.
roadside assistance.
Okay.
Why am I say AARP? It's getting late. It's getting late in the podcast. Not thinking straight.
AARP.
Don't they give you like a
I don't know.
discount on your
I don't know.
roadside assistance or something?
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
I always think my parents have it. I can call.
Yeah.
Anyway, move significantly restricted by terrain. Obviously, you can't always bug out across
That's
a
true.
mountain
Yeah.
in every vehicle. Items to consider in your bug out plan / bug out vehicle location.
Okay.
Camo, you want to be able to like hide your vehicle. Like
Yeah.
in my case, it's bright freaking yellow. I'm going to want to have some kind of thing to, probably park up side of the a boulder and then the one side cover with some camo.
It's
Sanitation
funny
plan.
it's like you with an O.
What?
Camo. It's
Cam.
Like,
Oh.
if Cam's wearing camo, it's camo
Yeah.
cam.
Yep.
Cam in camo.
Camo. Sanitation plan. Peeing in the car is hard and awkward. Enough.
I've done
So
it.
trying to poop in the car, even harder.
Haven't pooped in the car, but I have
haven't
peed in the car.
Yeah, I peed in the car multiple times. But you're not going to store all that stuff in there. Maybe
not
while it's
great.
hot,
not
you got the
great.
bottle, put it next to you, and then throw it out.
It is warm. That's
is.
actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Kind of keep your
In that
family warm.
situation, here, hold my pee
Store it
bottle,
for
baby.
a minute and then throw it out.
Put my pee bottle down your
But
pants.
You got to consider like dealing with waste if you're going to be using your
Sure.
vehicle as your bug out location.
Yeah.
There's like things that make it a lot nicer. Those hitch toilets, so you're not
Yeah.
crouching down out in the woods. You can just sit on your hitch and poop.
You know,
great.
poop on your ankles and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's the worst.
poop in your freaking
The side of your-
coveralls. Oh,
and your hiking boots are all full of turd. It's not good.
it's so awkward to sit. You're like, how do I get my feet out of the way?
Yeah.
But yeah, they got portable shower bags.
They do.
That
I
will
have
make
one.
it kind of nice if you're planning to live out of your vehicle.
I have one. It's solar, yeah. So it's supposed
Heats
to
up.
heat up the water as well.
So instead of
I
like,
ain't tried it yet, though.
so instead of 40 degrees, 41 degrees.
Yeah, at least 41 degrees.
I found some cool stuff. Like they have it's called a scrubba, which is a dry bag that has a built-in washboard.
Oh.
So you can like fill
Put
it
'em
full of
in there and
water.
just-
You can just, well, you use the washboard and then you stir it around and then it has a little drain on it.
Wow.
Anyways, you get some cool stuff like that. And then biodegradable. They have a lot of soaps that, you're not worried about killing the environment because you're trying to stay alive.
That's usually the first thing I'm worried
Me
about.
too. Hot and cold extremes. It's going to be in the middle of summer
Yep.
that your car breaks down because it overheats, or it's going to be in the middle of the winter because you get stuck.
It never happens in like September 1st when fall is just
like
hitting.
perfect.
Yeah.
Keep your windows down.
Or that springtime when the air
Yeah.
feels, it's not like that.
No, it's going to be the two
No.
extremes.
Yeah.
And I would much rather deal with the winter, I think. Because
And
that
yeah, I don't know.
in a car where you don't have AC and all you can do is roll down. Oh, that would be so horrible.
Yeah, I guess though you could find shade and survive.
Yeah.
If it's super cold, I don't know. They're both bad.
They would both
They're
suck.
both bad.
But yeah, you got to deal with the extremes because as good as you think your car's insulated, they end up just getting super
Oh, they
cold.
get
inside.
cold, yeah.
And the heat, yeah, they're instantly an oven.
Mm-hmm.
So they make some different, like they make some down blankets that are actually really good for both. Like you would think it'd be too hot, but it actually breathes better. It's a little bit puffed up. Yeah. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I just got a text that just threw me off.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's saying somebody's sick at the urgent care that I got to cover.
No.
I can't do it. Blow up mattress or foam pad. You're
Yes.
going to be sleeping in there.
Uh-huh.
There's no cushion on the regular, like you flip down the seats. It is so uncomfortable.
It is, it's pretty hard.
But you got limited space, but they have those little foam pads that roll up and you just release the air to, if they fill themselves up. Those are pretty sweet. cooking. You're going to be doing some cooking inside, and it'll kill you if you start a fire.
Yeah.
So barrel cook or one of those like portable systems, even electric. If you're running the car, you can plug it in.
Yeah.
Get a little
electric grill or something like that.
Propane is a mix, and that's a real tight space.
Yeah.
But on that note, like there's really small CO2 detectors. If I was going to be living in my vehicle, I would just get one of those little battery ones.
Yeah.
Then you just have it sitting up in the
Then
dash.
the battery runs out and you didn't know.
Yeah. And you're dead.
Yeah.
It hasn't chimed tonight. We must be okay.
I am sleepy though.
Yeah. Other useful items, they have like little awning sets, like even like a beach tent, so that you're not always in your vehicle. You can sit outside. You have awning that just either attaches to your the little, what's the top thing's called? I'm having brain fart here. The little
The
rails,
roof? Oh.
just the little rails that you have off from like ski rack.
Mhm.
And you just tie it off so you have an awning that everybody can be outside the car
Oh,
and stay
cool.
cool. There's one called Neso or Niso. It's like a beach tent thing that it just straps down, pulls tight, and it sets up an awning.
Nice.
So anyway, there's some cool stuff like that. And I mentioned that inverter. It would be super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Solar panels, they're really useful because you could just throw them on the top, keep your devices charged. It's not likely that you may be a storm that lasts 5 days, but you're going to get some solar power from that. And anyway, those that's a lot of little items that you can add to your vehicle to try to make it more comfortable and live out of for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Filters and all that stuff Kobe already mentioned. So
For sure. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is maybe you are actually surviving in some sort of a group of vehicles, or there's multiple vehicles and you're in some sort of maybe it doesn't even have to be a survival situation, but you're all together, right? When you are packing these vehicles with either food or gear or whatever it is, don't pack all the same thing in one vehicle. So maybe you have 3 or 4 cars and you say, okay, we're just going to put all the food in this car. We're going to put all the sleeping gear in this car. We're going to put all the, survival gear and water in this car or whatever it is. If one of those cars gets lost or something happens, you've lost an entire section of gear.
yeah,
If you lose the food car, you're screwed. Okay?
I've seen people talk about that too, of like setting up the system where it's like you're going to carry all the guns.
Mm-hmm.
That guy would just peel off.
Oh yeah, we're done. Yeah, see you later.
Like for all your guns.
Not a great idea. So if you can, distribute them evenly. So if one car gets separated somehow, they are self-sufficient. They can survive if they need to, right? So be thinking about that. Also think about communication. Maybe in this situation, cell phones aren't working, whatever it might be. So CBs, two-way radios, learn basic old school hand signals. We all know FU, and that's good. But get some other ones so that you guys can still, communicate if you need to. Yeah. How do you do make a map skirt? I don't know. So have a plan for your journey before you get going. So if you guys get split up, you have a place to meet along the route. Try and know what the route is and try and stick together as much as possible. This is just going to help. Even just normal travel or in a survival situation is going to be super helpful to think about. So those are all a bunch of different things to think about when we talk about surviving in your vehicle. And that goes from getting stuck in a snowstorm to maybe your bug out plan is living in your vehicle.
Yeah.
You know?
And I
So-
think that kind of gives you both for your bug out vehicle and just some items that you can all stock up on today.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's great.
That is great. Before we get going, though, I want to say today's podcast is brought to you by TacPack. They are the only monthly subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use code Casual Preppers and get a free separate bag sent of EDC gear along with your first month's TacPack. Head to TacPack.com. Use our code Casual Preppers. Before we move on to Quick and Dirty, Cam, we have the latest battle box.
We do.
Do you want to look at that real quick before we get going?
It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, good. And like we said, this actually has some gear that makes sense with this episode today, which is really cool.
It does. It actually goes real well.
All right,
with
so
it.
this is Mission 83. The first thing is the Black Rifle Coffee Company, the Just Black 12-ounce coffee. You like coffee?
I don't drink coffee, but I've heard this stuff's really good.
I've heard the same thing, so check it out. Then you have the Outdoor Element.
That's something it's not a bad to put in your car. Even if I
No.
didn't drink coffee, I'd probably
Yeah.
warm that up.
For sure. Outdoor Element Fire Escape Multi-Tool Carabiner. This is a cool little thing. It's got like a spark wheel.
Yeah,
and
it's got all
seatbelt
kinds of
cutter,
stuff on there.
wrenches, bottle
Simple
openers.
thing, just click on your bag,
Lots
on
of
your
cool
belt,
things.
on your shoe,
Anywhere,
wherever you want.
on your undies. Eva Dry E250 Mini Dehumidifier. These things are great if you have a place where you're storing all your food.
Yeah, I was like,
That's great.
it's not something you would like immediately go out and get,
Mm-hmm.
but super convenient to have.
Great for
Sticking in
ammo
your drawers
and gun
when you're
storage.
in the middle of winter or
That's right.
summer.
Kind of a cool little deal. So that's your basic box right there.
Yeah.
You go to the advanced box and we have the Gray Man Tactical Headrest Organizer. So this is a $50 value. These things are cool. Cam has got it in his vehicle. I've got some in my vehicle. We like them.
Yeah, it's
Right.
awesome to just keep your stuff organized.
Then we go to the Pro Box and we have the Gray Man Tactical Seat Back Organizer. And this is the big boy that goes on the back of your seat. And you can just strap all tons
Guns, gear,
Yeah, anything.
first aid kits, everything.
Tons of cool stuff.
It's super freaking strong stuff too.
Yeah, it's
You
awesome.
can make stretcher out of it.
Exactly. And then we go to the Pro Plus knife of the month. We have the Tecto Alara. And this is a $99 value. A sexy little EDC knife.
It's really cool looking.
It's kind of fancy looking. Boom.
It is
Show off
the
to your friends.
pointiest sucker
Yeah,
ever.
Cam already pointed
Yeah,
himself
I just
with
like,
it.
I'm gonna touch that point.
Didn't go
Went
well
right
for
through
him.
my finger.
So anyways, that's that. Go check out BattleBox. Use our code Casual Preppers.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
So this is super simple stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to talk to you guys about like controlling your blood pressure.
Oh, that's a good
And
one.
sometimes it's I've talked about some different like things you can do to lower your blood pressure with different like natural things, but I'm going to tell you just real quick a guide that gives you what things matter the most, like the biggest points,
Mm-hmm.
the like how many points you can lower per thing that you want to try.
Okay.
So the number one thing, and you've probably discussed it if you have high blood pressure, is the DASH diet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like high fruits, vegetables, like a variety because they're fibrous. They help lower your blood pressure overall. The second most, and that's like 11 points for systolic lowering, like on average.
That's a lot.
It's like 10 points. It's huge. It's like 10, but one more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the single most beneficial. And then the second is weight loss. If you're overweight, losing weight will drop at about 5 points systolic. So another big improvement. The third is it's weight loss and exercise go hand in hand. It's like 5 to 6 points each. So losing weight, exercising, there's 10 points again.
Yeah, dude.
So more fruits and vegetables, there's 10 points down. So you go from 140 to 130. You lose weight and exercise, you go from 130 to 120. And then additional things. Smoking will drop it about another 5 to 6.
So start smoking?
Start smoking. Smoking, if you're doing that,
Yeah.
stop. It'll drop about 5 to 6 points. Alcohol, it's about 3 points. If you're drinking alcohol, you got to stop that. And then salt. Salt does have an effect. That would be the hardest one for me, honestly.
Yeah, it would be for me too.
It's not huge, but it's important. I mean, it takes a lot of stress off from your kidneys, and it'll lower if you reduce to I think it's 1.3. I should have had that up. It's like you basically want to not do much over a gram of salt.
Yeah.
And that's super easy in our diet and in the freaking things that we eat. But if you want to limit it to about 1.5 to 1 gram, you're going to get like a 3 to 4 point drop.
Yeah.
And so those are like the big main hitters. So fruit and vegetables, exercise, weight loss, and if you've got those bad habits, smoking, drinking, get rid of those. You're going to lose about 10 points off from your blood pressure. And those are huge. Like if you're dependent on that medication right now and SHTF can't get your medicine, those are all things you can do.
Yes.
There's no reason why you couldn't.
Absolutely.
One, you might not have the available smoking and drinking, but you're going to, get that exercise and get that weight loss. That's huge. I mean, that'll take probably 50% of people off their medications.
I can attest to it. It does work. The exercise thing does work. I naturally just have high blood pressure. Like, I'm not fat.
No, there's a ton of people that genetically are that way. So
Yeah, like there's nothing I can do. I naturally have it. But if I'm exercising and I'm eating a little better, it's like 10 points difference for me.
That's
you know?
crazy. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, and anxiety and stress is a big one for me too. It'll raise it.
It does.
So if you
It
can
does.
keep that down,
And that all goes along with like if you're exercising and eating
Yes.
healthier, you can manage this stress.
yes,
a lot
exactly.
better.
That's good stuff. Well, thank you, Cameron.
Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate that, and thank you for listening, everybody.
I love listening.
Yeah. Please make sure you're subscribed to the podcast in all the places, and you're following us on all the places because you're going to get
Everywhere's.
cool stuff.
Everywhere.
All right. Stay survived.